Hi, this is Joe again with another video, and for the subject of this video, on the day you're doing this video, I should say, and it's on the January 20th, 2016, and of course this inauguration day in the United States, and just about 4.5 hours ago, in the time during this video, uh, Donald Trump was sworn in as the 45th president of the United States. Now, usually I don't as you know, I don't talk about politics on my videos. That's mostly movies or TV shows or sports. Um, but I usually keep my political views off here because I don't want to get blasted by one side or the other. Uh, but I figured that since this is a controversial election and everything else and swearing in, so I figured I already did one video already talking about the election, so I figured do one now for inauguration day. Now, of course, as you know, Donald Trump is the 45th president of the United States, and to me, it's a joke. True, I did not vote for Donald Trump, and I didn't vote for Hillary Clinton either, but because both of them were just the two worst candidates from the two major parties in the United States to run for president, and to have either one of them sworn in as president is going to be a disaster for the United States. Because I don't believe that Donald Trump is going to do not one thing that he's promised to do during the election. Of course, the stuff that he's promised to do is to throw out the illegals who came across the border from Mexico to the United States. I don't think that's going to happen. Because he's going to have too much opposition. He's also promised to ban Muslims from coming in here. That's the properly vetted. I don't think it's going to happen either, because I don't think they're going to be able to ban anybody from coming in here. On one hand, I do feel they should be banned. Ever since 9/11, they should be banned from coming in here, but I don't think it's going to happen because it's going to have too much opposition from not only the Republican side, not obviously anything that Donald Trump is going to do. The Democratic Party is going to be against him. No matter what idea that Donald Trump will come up with, the Democratic Party is going to be against him because he beat Hillary Clinton in the election. Also, the Republican Party, who's the party that he represented, they're going to be against him too, because he assaulted the Republican establishment candidates who ran against him during the primaries. He assaulted the Bush family. When Jeb Bush was playing. Well, Jeb Bush had no chance of winning anyway, because this country is not going to vote for a third Bush to be president of the United States. With all due respect to Jeb Bush, this country was not going to elect you for president of the United States. I'm sorry. Because your brother got elected and your father got elected in front of him, or before him. So I don't think they're going to vote for a third member of the Bush family to president of the United States. I don't have anything against Jeb Bush personally and professionally, but I'm just stating a fact. He saw Ted Cruz's wife. Look up, because Donald Trump on his Twitter page put a picture of his own wife and a not too flattering picture of Ted Cruz's wife and said, look how much prettier my wife is compared to Ted Cruz's wife. But you want her to be the next first lady of the United States? I mean that was the type of crap that Trump was putting out there on Twitter, and because of all that stuff, I had absolutely zero respect for Donald Trump. True, I like to see the illegals kicked out of the country. True, I wanted a ban on Muslims, but I can't get past his stupid comments like that. I just can't. And of course, the worst comment he said was, of course, towards Megyn Kelly. Even though my father says, "Oh, I'm glad that Donald Trump gave it to Megyn Kelly because the bitch sent him up." For those of you who know what I'm talking about, during the very first Republican debate back in 2015, when you had the 17 17 Republican candidates were running in the first debate. Megyn Kelly, the very first question she asked Donald Trump was about all of his previous comments towards women. And Trump got annoyed over that. That was the first question that she asked. Now, excuse me. Excuse me. If Trump just said, look, that was a very inappropriate question for her to ask for her first question. If she said, like, they want to debate, I might feel differently about it. But she asked that's the first question she asked me is about my previous comments towards women. That was totally inappropriate for her to ask that as the first question. Now, if Trump had stopped there, I would have had more respect for him. But unfortunately, he did not stop there, and he says, "Oh, Megyn Kelly must have been bleeding out for whatever," which means, he used the word whatever. I'm not editing myself. To clean up my language on my videos. Donald Trump said, actually used the word whatever in describing Megyn Kelly must be having her time of the month when she asked me that question. That's what Trump said, and calling her a bimbo and everything else. And nobody at Fox News defended Megyn Kelly. Her colleagues in Fox News, on the Fox News channel, never defended Megyn Kelly, saying, "How dare you say that about a colleague?" They never said that. They never defended it, especially Bill O'Reilly and Sean Hannity. The reason is because the two of them were jealous of her, because she was the anchor of the first debate, or she was monitoring the first debate, not either one of them, because they got passed over for Megyn Kelly because she's pretty on TV. Let's be honest, she's a gorgeous woman, okay? So that's because they wanted to put a prettier face for the debate. That's why they picked Megyn Kelly instead of. Who would rather look at, Megyn Kelly or Bill O'Reilly and Sean Hannity? Let's be honest here, folks. You rather look at Megyn Kelly. So she got basted by everybody, saying, "Oh, my father kept us sitting. She was told to ask him that." I said, "How do you know she was told to ask him that? Were you there?" He said, "No, I wasn't there, but she was told." I said, "How do you know she was told what to ask him about his previous comments about women?" And he goes, "Well, I wasn't there." "Well, how do you know she was told?" "Well, because the Fox News is run by a Muslim, and the president's a Muslim." And I said, "So what?" And I said, "Why if she worked for NBC? You were still thinking that?" I said, "How do you know she was told that?" I can believe that for seeing, because the other two presidential debates, they were now hosted by Chris Wallace from the same network. There was a moderator from CNN who monitored one of the debates. The first two presidential debates with Trump and Hillary Clinton, Hillary got the question in advance, and it was found out that she got the question in advance. That was not the case with Megyn Kelly, where she went after Trump about the question about his previous comments on women. That type of a leak did not come out. That type of story never came out. It came out with the first two presidential debates. That news came out that Hillary Clinton got the question in advance. That didn't happen with the first Republican debate that Megyn Kelly monitored. That didn't happen. So I said to my father, I said, how do you know this happened? And he says, because it was one of my Muslims. That was his comeback. That was the only answer he had. Meanwhile, they had no proof whatsoever that Megyn Kelly was told in advance to ask him that. Because I don't buy it. Of course, the other comment that was infamous, I don't know why the hell the Access Hollywood held on this tape for 11 years. Because Donald Trump, when he was hosting the Celebrity Apprentice, was talking to Billy Bush, who was then one of the co-hosts of Access Hollywood. He told, "Hey, you want to get Nancy O'Dell to sleep with you? Just grab her by your pussy." He said just like that. Excuse my language, but that's what Donald Trump said. And the mic was still on. So they recorded him saying that. and Access Hollywood held on to that audio tape for 11 years. Didn't come out with it they should have came out, to tell the truth, they should have came out with it as soon as it happened. But they held on to it for 11 years to when he was running for president to come out with that tape. And so the only way they get women is by grabbing them by their pussies. That's what he said. And as soon as I heard that, he said, "That's it. I'm not voting for Trump. I'm not voting for him. I'm not voting." I swore that I was not going to vote for Hillary Clinton under any circumstances. But I wasn't going to vote for Trump because of those comments. And ironically, despite those comments, Trump got more of the women's vote, the female vote, than Hillary Clinton did. And everybody assumed that if a woman was running for president, that she would get 100% of the female vote, because women traditionally vote more than men do, and that's a fact. Ever since women won the right to vote, I think it was like 1920. I think it was. Women voted more than men do. You know, I mean, since in almost 100 years since then, women voted more than men do, and about 60% of the women vote went to Trump, which surprised the hell out of me, considering all the crap that he said about women and the pussies and all that stuff. And it's surprising that he even won. Of course, the thing is that he won the electoral vote and not the popular vote. It makes it two of the last three presidents won the first term in office without winning the popular vote. So which is of course, since then, and this was going back since Bush 43 was elected. They want to get rid of the electoral college vote. The reason why, and of course, ironically, one of the biggest shows of Broadway, which is Hamilton, which is a piece of crap show. It's a hip hop show based on the life of Alexander Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton was the one that came up with the idea for the electoral college vote, and the reason why is because he wanted all the states to be equal and electing the next president. So he didn't want a state like New York, Texas, and California, which is the three states that has the biggest population, to decide who the next president would be. He wanted all the states to have, even though there's varied amount of electoral votes due to population, but he wanted all the states to have pretty much to be equally as important as the states with the biggest populations. That's why the electoral college is done. But to get those electoral college votes, you have to specifically win the right combination of states to get to 270 votes, which is the total. Now, I don't know what the original total was back in 1700s, 1788, when we had a first presidential election. What the amount, the electoral college amount was back then. Well, ever since we had the whole 50 states, it's been 270 votes. Like I said, I don't know when the 270 votes became the standard to clinch a presidential election. I'm sure. Please tell me when, if you know for sure. Please make a comment down below and correct me on that. I will appreciate it. I won't get insulted if you correct me in that fact, but you have to win enough states to get the 270 votes, like the electoral college votes. Even though Trump did not win New York, which is technically his home state, because New York and California are the two most liberal states in the country. So there's no way in hell that Trump was going to win those two particular states. So he focused on the Midwest, where it was hurt a lot by industry, because a lot of the jobs in the Midwest moved to Mexico or to Europe or to China. So he focused on those states, and those are the states that most of the states like Wisconsin, Minnesota usually goes to the Democratic candidate, whoever it was. But those states, surprisingly, like Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Michigan, usually goes to the Democratic candidate, but it went to Trump, and that's what that and Pennsylvania and Florida put Trump over the top and clinched the election for him. Even though you had supposedly you had well, at least 2 million votes that were supposed to be, according to Trump and Trump's staff, were illegal. So if you take away those 2 million votes, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote by almost 1 million votes. Because she had like 2.9 million more votes in the popular vote than Trump did, which is that big disparity compared to in 2000 when Bush beat Gore, because it was a much closer vote. Not only the electoral college vote, it was a lot closer also in the popular vote. But it didn't happen here. There was a wide disparity between the popular vote, what the popular vote was, and the electoral college vote. Because the electoral college vote, Trump kicked Hillary's ass. But in the popular vote, Hillary kicked Trump's ass. Like you just said, even if you take away the 2 million votes that Trump has said there was because he had illegal citizens voting, or people voting in the wrong spot, or the wrong polling place, or the wrong, or had no business even voting, or voted like 20 times or something. If you take it, let's say you just take out the 2 million votes, Hillary still would have won by almost 1 million votes in the popular vote. But with Trump, I don't think that, like I said earlier at the beginning of the video, I don't think that Trump is going to accomplish one damn thing they promised. I don't think he would, because it's one thing to have opposition from the Democratic Party, with him being a Republican. That's one thing, but he's also going to get crapped on by the Republicans. Even though the Republicans now control the House, they control the Senate, and of course now they control the presidency. Even with that, you're going to have Republicans who, excuse me, you're going to have Republicans who are going to be pissed off at him because of the fact that he beat the so-called establishment, or the Republican establishment. Because all the polls said, how the hell could he beat Hillary Clinton? And that's why Hillary Clinton she took the election for granted, to a certain respect, because she didn't campaign as hard as Trump did. Trump went to a lot of the Midwest states, like I said. Hillary didn't even bother. She only bothered with states that were close, like Pennsylvania, Ohio, New York, California. I think also maybe Florida. She bothered with. Most of the other states, and I think she also went to Ohio, if I'm not mistaken. But most of the other states she didn't go to. A lot of states that you, like I said, usually go to, like Wisconsin and Michigan and Minnesota, they usually go to the Democratic candidate. Hillary didn't even show up there, and Trump did. So they said, "Oh, look, Trump's going to all these states, and he cares enough to show up." Hillary didn't even bother showing up, so why should I vote for her? I think there was the attitude of a lot of the voters. At least Trump showed up to these various states and that type of thing, and Hillary didn't. So I can understand that thing, but morally, like I said earlier, I couldn't vote for Trump because of his stupid comments he made towards women. His comments towards Megyn Kelly was just disgusting. And grabbing women by his, and I said to my father, how can you defend those comments? Well, those comments he made about 20 years ago. And it wasn't 20 years ago, it was 10 years ago when he made those comments. Because he was hyping the Celebrity Apprentice, and he made those comments. He was doing an interview for Access Hollywood. And they recorded him saying that comment. So how can you defend someone like that who says all that? So that's why he didn't vote for him. And the other thing is what I mentioned is that I don't think he's going to accomplish a damn thing that he said he was going to do. He's not going. I don't think he's going to do it. I know people said, "Oh, he's going to be impeached." And a couple of days ago, people were saying, "Oh, we should impeach." Oh, there's 40 Hollywood celebrities. We should impeach him. The bastard didn't even get sworn. He got sworn in almost 5 hours ago. He got sworn in about 4.5 hours ago when he was giving a speech. About 4.5 hours ago, so during the speech, he got impeached because he's now officially the president of the United States. But to impeach a guy before he gets sworn. And one thing that I am glad of, to tell you the truth, was that I'm glad that the Muslim, otherwise known as Obama, did not pull on Hillary Clinton, because now Trump, I like to see Trump put Hillary in jail for the email thing and the Benghazi thing. But I don't think that's going to happen either, folks. None of the stuff that Trump has said during the campaign, I don't think he's not going to do one thing. I know I repeated that a few times, but I don't think that's going to happen. If it does happen, I'll be very, very surprised, and maybe I will change my mind on him and vote for him when he runs for re-election in 2020. But for now, he does not have my support until he does what he said he was going to do. And that's the problem with politics. That's why I don't talk about it. Because all politics, no matter the movie, in the United States, no matter the Republican, Democrat, Independent, Green Party, whatever, they only make promises so that they can get elected. And as soon as they get sworn in to whatever office they're elected to, could be the president of the United States on down, they only make promises so they can get themselves elected. As soon as they get elected, they say, "Fuck you" to the voters, and not vote, and not do what they said they were going to do. And the Democrats did when 2014, when they took over the House and the Senate, they said we're going to get rid of Obamacare, and they didn't do it. That's why I have no respect for the Republican Party, because they failed to do what they promised to do. And that's what Trump is going to do the same damn thing. Even though Trump is not a real politician, he's a businessman and a politician. But he's not going to. I'm telling you right now, on his first day in office, Trump, and you can quote me this 4 years from now, or technically 3 years from now, in 2020, when he's up for re-election, Trump is not going to do not one thing that he promised to do. Guaranteed. Summary review of Inauguration Day 2017. Please click on the video, please read it, feel free to comment on it, please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. You can watch all of my videos, not only on my YouTube channel, but valleyc.com, there's all WDY, and that's c.com. There's a whole page in the Valley Reviewer. Chris Moore, please check out all of his videos, his TV trash videos, and we're now doing vlogs on Game of Thrones right now. So check those out. Check out all of his other content as well. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.